Thank you, Member. The member for Jandakot.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker. I'm glad to receive this opportunity to talk about this bill on the Local Government Amendment Bill 2017. And I must thank and acknowledge the Minister for his initiation on bringing this bill to Parliament. Local governments in Western Australia are the spheres that most closely affect the daily lives of our community members. And in Western Australia, local governments receive more than $2 billion in rates, about $280 million in financial assistance and grants, and also various forms of other assistance from state and federal governments. Our three tiers of government have defined roles, and these lines are becoming increasingly blurry. They do not and cannot work in isolation, and for the good of our communities, it's important that each tier of government has a mindset of first and foremost working for the good of the people and working to strengthen and support and to bring the best out of each sector. And the McGowan Labor government is very keen on addressing these issues. Now, local government is definitely valued, and as per a survey that was conducted in 2015 on why local government matters, found that 93% of Australians want their governments to play a role in providing many of their services that are important to the community and the needs. What the research also found that Australians think that local government is the best level of government to make decisions on local issues in the area. It also goes to find that Australians believe it is important that local government does deliver on diverse ranges of activities, with, most importantly, the planning for the future. And they are not just recognized by the responsibilities of the 3 Rs, which is rates, roads, and rubbish. They are more now inclined to deliver a better quality to the services that are provided in the community. Local governments have established a role as place shapers and community builders, and they play an intrinsic role in meeting the needs and drive of people's attachment and satisfaction with the area they live in. And I'm sure my colleague from Kingsley will second that. I was privileged to be a part of the City of Coburn Council that resolved to create an exciting new suburb, Treeby, within my electorate of Jandakot, where eventually approximately 4,000 new residential dwellings, a town centre, and 2 new primary schools will be established in the coming years, which is again a perfect example of placemaking led by local government and supported through proper planning. Local governments play a critical role in maintaining and developing the social and economic fabric of regions, bringing all communities together and producing local solutions to local problems. But then again, there are complexities in these services, and it comes with great risk, which means it requires great transparency and accountability to ensure that the highest degree of fiscal responsibility is delivered. These days, ratepayers are savvy and engaged. They want to be assured that their rates are being utilized appropriately for the greater good of the community. So the changes that this bill is proposing, bringing the auditing under the jurisdiction of the Auditor General, will bring Western Australia in line with most other Australian states and territories. We know that most councils are well managed and fiscally responsible, but unfortunately the sector broadly has gained, perhaps unfairly, a poor reputation in this regard. This bill will strengthen a financial oversight in local government, and it will help improve financial management and responsibilities, and obviously the most important, public accountability. It will bring clarity and set a benchmark statewide so that mayors, councillors, and staff understand their responsibilities and obligations, as well as their financial position. This is an imperative step in the right direction. This will also provide a level of community oversight that has not been previously available. It is this change that will strengthen individual councils and in turn strengthen the whole sector and will lift reputation, which is critically important. As I have previously mentioned to the House, the electorate of Jandakot covers 5 different local governments: Coburn, Gosnells, Canning, Melville, and Armidale. And as a former councillor for the city of Coburn, before entering Western Australian Parliament, I know firsthand the great privilege it is to serve the community at the level of government which is closest to the community. I also understand that state government must take action to support and strengthen, not stifle, local governments. Local governments are champions at taking the lead on major projects that involve all 3 tiers of government, which provide a long-lasting benefit to the communities. I will use City of Coburn as an example, as this is where I've had my experience. And I know that there are many other councils that are doing such excellent work for the communities. The City of Coburn was very successful in completing 3 major projects, which I must say I'm very proud of. The first being the Coburn Integrated Health and Community Facility, the Coogee Beach Surf Lifesaving Club, and of course recently the $109 million Coburn Aquatic Recreation Centre, which has been very well received. 3 of the great examples of how local government-led projects made possible by assistance from all 3 tiers of government. Another example is from the City of Armidale's Harrisdale Pavilion is another fabulous community asset that was assisted by a state CSRFF grant. And now in 2017 and 2018, further grants will be provided in excess of $4.6 million for sporting and recreational infrastructure in the 5 councils in the seat of Jandakot. And these include almost close to $500,000 worth of upgrades to the change rooms at Clifton Park in Canningvale, almost $100,000 worth of floodlights at John Connell Reserve in Leeming, funds to upgrade flood lighting at Williams Keat Oval in Forestdale. Now, bringing me back to this bill is that I was a chair for the Audit and Strategic Finance Committee of the City of Coburn, and I must say that they are one of the most proactive councils in making sure that risk management with regards to internal and external projects are managed efficiently. And during this time that I was chair, we found through the audits some minor anomalies which allowed us to take the necessary action steps to improve the processes and strengthen the structure. Another issue, which is very close to me, and one that requires a review, is rates disparity in local government, especially in growth corridors. Now, members may be aware about an emerging issue in the new development suburbs of Harrisdale and Piera Waters, where higher than average GRE, along with a special area rate for higher services and maintenance provisions in parks and drainage, means that the rates burden on these suburbs is higher than should really be expected from the community members to bear, as an average of around $2,600. And I must remind members in this House that these are not affluent suburbs. These are average families under financial pressure, particularly during these tough economic times. And I have to acknowledge the Mayor of Armadale, Henry Zalance, who is doing some great work in his Growth Council. And he finds it really hard to tackle the situation, especially in the rates disparity in his Growth Council. And I intend to work with the city to help resolve this disparity. Thank you.
Thank you, Member.